is only war.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. We got game 3 of our RTT that we won with the Accursed Cultists, practicing for LVO. This list is currently 12-0. I'm super happy with it. There's a couple, I don't know what I would change, honestly, besides just painting these guys a little bit better. But this list I've been enjoying and tweaking here and there. The only thing I'm still not sure about is the style, which we will go over. But if you guys want to check out the list, it is in the first video, plus in the description below. Leave a comment on what you like or didn't like about the list, and leave a comment on what you like about these battle reports. I take pictures of every report that I try and do. Unless it's live, then obviously you get the live view. But when I take pictures, I get to go over with you kind of like a report or like a NFL like game where you kind of like go through the motions and kind of see what they did good, what they could have done better at. That's what the 40k scene. So if you guys are new to the channel, definitely go check out game 1 and 2 against T-Suns. And then this one is the final game against Space Wolves, Space Marines, Space Wolves, which I was super impressed with. I kind of want to start a Space Wolf army now because the new codex just came out and they're just such cool, really fast, my type of army that I would definitely play. So appreciate it. Click on the video. We're going to get into the video in a little bit. I do want to thank you, my Patreons. You guys, I wouldn't be doing this without you. You guys are just supporting me so much. And if you guys are competitive and grandmasters, make sure you message me one-on-one if you have any questions, go over list ideas, tactics, have RTTs coming up, or just any game you just want questions about. That's your cue to kind of message me and say, hey, what do you think about this list? When I was getting into the game, I would always look for like really good players just to ask simple questions for, and you guys have that opportunity. There's no bad questions. Come up to me and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking. What would you do? Just to get a second opinion. You don't have to listen to me. It's just to kind of see what I'm thinking about, because maybe there's something that you didn't think about. Like, oh, wow, that actually makes sense. Let me try that in the next game. That's what competitive dirtbags and grandmaster dirtbags get over on Patreon, is to message me one-on-one anytime, so that way we can go over and get you better at 40k. But all my other Patreons, you guys get first access to these videos ahead of time before they hit YouTube about a week or two later. So if you guys want to stay up with the content, head over to Patreon, support the channel so we can get more videos like this out to you guys. So this video, holy shit, I was impressed. This guy, again, first time he ran this list, and he usually plays Custodes. This is the first time he ran the list and just made it to top table. Like, he did so. He was not expecting to win any games today, and he fucking smashed his way, including myself, all the way up to the top table. So this was super awesome. This is his list, all in one bucket right here. He's got 3 units of the cavalry, all with storm shields, and I think lightning claws, or just whatever. They're not WYSIWYG, but they all have storm shields, so they all have 4 wounds, and they all have 4 up invul and save. And when they charge, they get +1 damage. They get to reroll a bunch of shit. They have Oath. This is old school Oath before the new codex came out. And then like it's so fast. He's got 3 units of the wolves, which were just so good. Like, they're kind of like Nurglings, just they're Nurglings basically. It's just small units running around doing secondaries, blocking out deployment zone, which was really good in this case. He's got a full 10-man assault Terminator brick, a couple characters in there, and then he's got characters on the wolves as well. So I think each unit had a character in the wolves. He's got 2 big ass dreads with the plasmas. He's got a unit of the infiltrators that can't come within 12 inches with the Phobo librarian, so I can't shoot outside 12. So this is a really, really good list. It performed very, very fucking surprisingly good. So this is the deployment. We played a Dawn of War deployment. This is the burning objective, which is the first time I actually played this objective. So you have to burn the objectives in the center. If you control it at the, I think, command phase of your next turn, it becomes burnt. So it's really hard to do. So I never played it, didn't really know the tactics behind it. I was kind of just running forward like I've been doing all fucking last 12 games I played. But pretty standard setup. We have our Seekers. Now, he put basically everybody as far forward on the line because that's what Space Wolves Cav wants to do. And then the Dreads, I don't have a lot of shooting, so he doesn't really have to be fearful with the Dreads, but there's a lot of line of sight blocking in this terrain anyway. He's got his Terminators on the other side of this wall over here with another unit of Cav. dogs all the way in the back. Again, just really good at blocking out and screening out the backfield. And then Phobos Librarian right on the backfield objective. So then our deployment, we have our yellow squad right here. Abaddon ready to move up, so our guys can move up. The green guys are right out front in case I need to spend the 1 CP strat for the Nurgle, so they can't be shot outside 12 inches. Seekers are there so they can move up 9 and then 14 and try and block out as much as they possibly can. Nurglings, again, same thing. I wanted to do really just blocking out of his army because he's super quick, wants to get in your face. So my idea is if I can block him out, I should be good to move all my guys forward. So we have a unit here, unit there, and unit here. Then we have a Forge Fiend over here, which he hopefully can move up and then shoot these guys. And then the bikes in the back. And I don't know if we had anybody all the way on the right side. We did. We had cultists all the way on the right side again for investigate signals in case we get that turn 1. So you always have to prepare for the shitty secondaries turn 1. So that's why we put our cultists all the way over here. So yeah. Then in Deep Strike and Reserves, we have Sile, Nurglings, a unit of Curse Cultists, and another Forge Fiend. So let's get into turn 1. If he has turn 1, I think it's a completely different game. I don't know if he would be able to charge me. I mean, he moves 14 and then no. So I don't think he'd be able to charge me turn 1, but he would have been able to kind of just run forward, control all 3 objectives, and just be there. Now, I would have advanced and charge, and Abaddon kind of wait a turn right there. But we luckily got turn 1. So what did we do? We basically tied him up as much as we possibly could. So Seekers scooted up. These guys are about to advance. So Seekers advance. I didn't want to charge him because he would have killed me. So I advance up, spread out. I used one of his proxy bases so that way he can't fit through this ruin over here because you can't end within 1 inch of my model. So what I did was I put this guy exactly like a little bit less than 1 inch. So that way if he moves up, he physically can't move his guy past my dude without killing him first. So since his bases are so big, I could spread all these guys out wholly within 2 inches of each other and just block out the board as much as possible. Then he did Overwatch, I think, with one of these dreads, and he killed one of the dudes and took this guy down to 1 wound. So I would have had one more guy right about there, which would have helped out a lot. But oh well. The Nurglings scooted up. The green guys advanced up, got to the center. These guys ran on the other side of the wall just to prepare for the next turn. We're controlling these 2 objectives. I might have... Yeah, I don't think I could have cleansed because I'm not fast enough turn 1. Then these guys kind of just waited a turn. So we got cleanse turn 1 and engage on all fronts. So we found this out a couple games ago where these guys can't cleanse unless you control it. That's why I had to advance up and tag the zone here. So Nurglings moved up and cleansed. And then I tagged this zone over here with one of the guys on the objective. So this Nurgling unit cleansed as well. So we had 2 cleanses in the center. And then engage on all fronts. I had to get everybody on this side of the table edge, which we were, to get engage. So we got 3 points for engage and then 5 points for cleansing. He gets no prisoners and aerial denial. So no prisoners is perfect for him because I gave him basically 3 fucking units to kill. What he should have done turn 1, or yeah, his turn 1 was move these guys up and start fucking burning this as soon as possible. Because then the whole fight would have just been these 2 objectives. And then these guys can then come into the fray and start killing shit. There's absolutely no way I would have been able to stop him. I mean, I don't know if you could do it turn 1. Maybe you can. I'm not sure. But there's no way I would have been able to stop this whole unit of Cav cleansing this objective. So his Terminators, this was another mistake I suggested to him, was Terminators should have stayed on the back here because they can advance and charge. Basically, the whole unit can advance and charge. So they're super fast, get in your face, kill you pretty easily. So if he leaves his fucking 10-man brick of Terminators on the other side of this wall here, he's able to just advance out and charge and just get the second wave, whatever I bring forward, and just kill him that way. He doesn't know, I mean, he knows, but the Forge Fiends are made to kill Terminators. That's all they do. So you'll see what happens next. Dread moves up. The dogs spread out the back, so I can't get anywhere near the back. These guys are spreading out over here. These guys are able to move around because my fucking 1 Seeker died, so they're able to kind of run around and get to the center. And then they're going to start making their charges and killing everything on this side. These guys have to stay where they are because they can't move essentially anywhere over here. So they did their job. They made up their points. They got us engaged on fronts and blocked out that one squad on the left there. So this is where they look at the end of turn 1 is these guys charge and kill the Nurglings, consolidate into this unit over here, and then they're wholly within 6 inches of the center, so they basically get aerial denial, which is great. And then these guys charge and kill the Seekers and then consolidate onto this objective and then steal this objective as well. So great turn 1. He has 1, 2, 3 fucking dudes in the center of the board with Terminators right behind them with the Dreads in the back. So again, this list is just super good. I really want to play it. So our guys kind of screw job. They don't really do a ton to this because they're Nurglings. I can't spend a CP to reroll anything with this unit because they're not undivided. So on my turn, we fall back 1 CP. So they fall back, can charge after falling back. So we wanted to clear off that fucking annoying unit on the back there, so that way we can start deep striking within 12 inches and hopefully get something around here. So all the big guys can, I've known this from experience, they just kill Marines really easily, especially the 12-inch bubble guys. So we charge in, I think we get like 3 or 4 of the big guys onto that unit and they just murder them by themselves. We then tie up the Dread. These guys are just spread out all the way back here. So we get from the backfield objective all the way up to here to get that objective. Still within 6 inches of Abaddon, I believe. I think I moved Abaddon over here to be within 6 inches of these guys. So they have the 4 Bembry save. And then this entire unit advances charges, +1 hit, +1 wound. And we get this wolf guy down to, I think, 3 wounds left on this guy right here. The Forge Fiend moved up and shot at, I believe, this Dread. He either shot the Dread or the Terminators. Let me see if I could see the Terminator. I could. So the Dread, or the fucking Forge Fiend, moved up and saw this one Terminator that he put outside right through this little line right here. 36 inches, straight line into that Terminator. So what I did first was he moved up, shot the unit, and then the other Forge Fiend came in over here to get straight line of sight to the rest of the Terminators over here. And his character, here's a good tip, character was right here. So no matter what, he cannot remove that character unless the bodyguard unit is dead. So he had to remove these guys that we shot at first, and then the guys on the other side of the wall here. And then he could remove here. If these guys are just normal Terminators, he would have removed these guys first, leaving his character and guys on the other side of this wall alive, so that way this Forge Fiend couldn't shoot at that squad. So that's basically was the mistake, was he moved these guys out and left the character in front, so that way I had 2 Forge Fiends that turn shooting at a 10-man brick of Terminators. So with the 3d3 blast, it's 3d3 plus 6 shots. Like, insane at killing Terminators. So I think we killed like 6 or something with the first go around, and like 3 with the second go around. So he does have like 1 or 2 Terminators left, 2 characters, and then 1 or 2 Terminators left in that squad. The Dreads are still alive. I haven't really shot at them or done anything with them yet, but we are starting to whittle down the beast. I kept Abaddon back because I want him to be my second round to hopefully kill this unit right here, because he can go through walls, they can't. So I wanted him to kind of move up and get them next turn in the center, so that way he can kind of just run in and slap. The bikes came in over here, got some random shots off. I killed one of them. Cultists scooted up to try and block these guys out as much as possible from getting to my Forge Fiend. So again, I blocked out so they can't move past anywhere to charge my Forge Fiend, and they can't consolidate into my Forge Fiend as well. So that they're doing their job by just blocking out the back, and the fucking wolves keep blocking out the back, so I can't deep strike or get anywhere near those guys. Sal came in over here behind the Forge Fiend, just kind of waiting a turn, hopefully moving up and just cleansing the left objective. And yeah, that was my turn. So he gets Investigate Signals and Defend Stronghold. So Defend's going to be hard for him because I'm already in his deployment zone. And Investigate Signals, he has the wolves to do that pretty easily. So both wolves basically back up, Investigate Signal, back up, Investigate Signal. These wolves move up, and their only choice really is to kill the cultists down here. These wolves just move up and just murder most of the green guys. These guys scooch back and they shoot at the green guys as well. The wolves move up to try and block out this from me getting to his dudes over here. These guys advance and charge, so I think they have 2 characters and 2 Terminators left with the missiles. This guy's stuck in combat, and these guys are in combat with my Chris cultists. I did rapid ingress these guys because there wasn't a good turn last turn to bring him in. So we rapid ingress on his turn 2. So we rapid ingress down here so that way they can do something to the right side of the table. So hopefully they can move up and either go there or move up and go there. So they have 2 options. I put all the big guys on the right side because that's my weaker flank, and then all the little guys on the left side because I still have Abaddon over here to come in and hopefully help out in the center. So this is the end of the green squad. We have 1 guy here that's left. We have our character and 1 of Chris cultist. Here's a little trick that you guys could do. You could remove the models where you want, and at the end of the turn, whoever's not in coherency will die. So what I try to do is I don't want these Terminators to really get anywhere like near or back onto the objective, and I don't want these guys to consolidate backwards onto the objective. So you can leave specific models where you want if they're going to kill the whole unit. Like, this isn't if they're only going to kill 1 or 2 guys. This is if they're going to fucking murder the whole unit. You can leave like this guy here, so that he's within 6 inches of Abaddon to get the 6-inch or the 4-inch invuln save. So 4 up invuln save, and then you leave like the dark commune back there, and then the 1 cultist 2 inches away from your dude, so that way if they do live, you can bring them back. These 2 obviously would die because they're out of coherency by a lot, but they still get the 4 up invuln save because they're still technically within 6 inches of Abaddon. It's not the end of the turn yet, and this guy's still alive up here, so these guys have to consolidate and pile into this guy instead. So that's a little trick that you can do with this big ass fucking blob squad. So that's basically what we did. So we have 2 big guys left and a little guy and the character. So after that, he basically kills, I think, most of them. Yeah, he kills basically the rest of the squad. So the Terminators alone, they have to be allocated. So they move up, kill, and kills my character, and then the 2 big guys left. Then we finish off this guy with our Chris cultists, and now all he's left is the big squad in the center, the big squad to the right, and 2 of the big dreads at the top with a bunch of doggies kind of running around the backfield. This is the amount of wounds I did on his squad. I think it was like 30 something. So all of these basically wounded at +1 to hit, +1 to wound, advance and charge, and that was this squad right here. So they basically advanced up. I'd had Abaddon go in the center, and then these guys went this way, so we basically can hopefully kill 2 squads in 1 turn. If we kill these 2 squads, it should be in our favor for the rest of the game. Forgefiend moved up, shot some shots into this unit to do some damage. They have a 4 up invuln save. The Nurglings came down over here. These guys walked in on the backfield. Sile moved up and started to burn this objective. The 2 wound left Forgefiend scooted up to try and get some shots off on the center dogs. The bikes moved in over here to shoot these dogs off the table. And then the yellow squad moved up and charged the Terminators to try and get onto his objective and steal the objective, because I think he has like 6 or 8 obsec on this objective, so I only need 5 guys to finish up on this objective. But Abaddon does what he does, moves up, charges in, full rerolls to wound on this squad because they're on an objective. So that's what the Legionnaires do for Abaddon. So all the devastating wounds, just fucking murder them. And then over here, we basically finish them off at -1 AP, and he's saving on a 4+. So he might have done 1 CP for a 3+, I'm not sure. But he gets Secure No Man's Land and Assassinate. So he has a couple options. He can go after Abaddon. He can go after the Dark Commune chick right here. He can go after Sile. He can go after this Dark Commune. So he doesn't really have any characters left. The only character is this guy right here, which I think he spent 1 CP to try and kill my character. But within 6 inches of Abaddon, he's a 4 invuln save, and he takes him down to 1 wound. So I think he might have wounded him 3 times and made 2 saves, failed 1, 3 damage. He goes down to 1 wound. So he wasn't able to get Assassinate this turn. And he still has his 2 characters left. We're taking over this objective back here. Abaddon's sitting in the center. He's got some doggies over here. And then these guys are just fucking doing what they're doing on that objective. Forge Fiend's still alive. These guys are still alive. And then our Forge Fiend and Sile over here is burning the objective. So we get Ketra enemy outposts, which should be easy for us. And behind enemy lines, which we have to get our bikes, obviously, back there. These guys spend 1 CP to fall back and get behind enemy lines and then charge this dread so that way they can steal the home objective and get behind enemy lines. So it's 5 for behind enemy lines and 8 for stealing the objective. Sile gets into the fray. So he basically moves up and charges this one Terminator left. Forge Fiend scoots up. Abaddon's still alive, so he basically goes after the dread right here. Nurgling starts scooching up in case I get aerial denial. These guys advance left in case I get something. Forge Fiend scoots up. These guys start running forward to try and kill the dogs in the back corner. And this is basically the end of the board state. So we have 1 dread left. I think these dogs died to the accursed cultists. He gets deploy teleport homers, which he can't do, and then assassinate, which he can't do. We get aerial denial like we said, like we assumed we were going to get, and then storm hostile objective, which I don't know if we could get because he control, like there's no objectives that he controlled. So I think we subbed it out for something else. Yeah, we probably subbed it out for something else. So this is the end board state right here. He's got nobody left on the table. We have Nurglings and Sile in the center for aerial denial. We can't burn because it has to complete in your next command phase. So since there is no next command phase, we lost out on the burning of the objective, which I think these guys could have burnt last turn instead of going after the wolves. So I kind of messed that up, and I should have burnt this objective. Forge Fiend, 2 Forge Fiends still alive, kind of both wounded. 1 Nurgling, 1 Sile, 1 accursed cultist unit, 2 accursed cultist unit. Abaddon might have died to the hitting in the face dread, which he might have got assassinated. I'm not sure. Bikes are still alive, and that is it. So final score of the game, he gets 10 turn 1, so great turn 1. 10 for primary, 0-0-0, because we kind of stole all of his objectives every single turn. And then on turn 1 he got 8. He got 7 turn 2, 0 turn 3, 5 on turn 4, and then he couldn't get anything on turn 5. So I think he got assassinated on turn 4. So he finishes up with 10 on primary and then 20 on secondary. So we kept him to a 30, which again, he was doing so good until obviously the accursed cultist just kills a whole unit of wolves, which we found out again. I didn't know, he didn't know. It was a great test for both of us, and I really want to run his list because the list is awesome. For us, we had 5 for primary turn 1 because he stole all 3 objectives in the center, 10 for turn 2, 10 for turn 3, 10 for turn 4, and then 15 at the end for 50. And then for secondaries, we had 8 turn 1, 5, 5, 13, and then 10. So we finished up with a 90, which we don't do paint till the end of the game or end of the day. So 90 is max, 30 out of 90 for him, and that was the end of the tournament. So what did we like about the list? We'll go over that real quick. So I'm really liking this list. It's a little bit different. You probably saw this list similar to the guy at LGT, but I was running this before that guy. He just basically, he's a really good player, and I heard he just spams everything, but he ran 3 Chris cultists and then 60 regular cultists, and I think he ran Sile as well, and Abaddon, but he had Abaddon solo, and I have Abaddon with Legionnaires, and then I also have bikes, I have Seekers, I have only 2 10-man cultists, I have 2 Forge Fiends, he had Forge Fiends, and then I've just Legionnaires with Abaddon. So my list is made just for secondaries. He took fixed, so he just wanted as many units on the table so that we can just keep doing fixed as he could. And then for me, I've been playing tactical, which has been working for me because there's a lot of secondary units in the army that can do secondaries for you specifically. Yes, you have 3 units of Accursed Cultists with Abaddon for the 4-up invuln save, but you also have a ton of secondary units added into that fucking insanely tanky bubble to also focus on secondary. So you have your Killy, your Cursed Cultist units, and then you have your secondary units specifically just going out and spreading out on the table to block deep strikes, reserves, all that. So I played a couple games in the last tournament where I was able to block out 90% of the board, where he can only come in on his table edge in his deployment zone. So that's another thing that this list can do for you. Seekers I really like. If you guys are playing Chaos and you haven't tried the Seekers yet, I've definitely tested them out. They are really fun, and they get you turn 1 secondaries pretty easily. And if you don't go turn 1, just kind of move them behind a wall or into a building. They can't go through the walls, but you can move around. But you kind of move them defensively, so that way next turn they can move up and go do something for you. But I really like this list. If you guys are interested, just do 3 prints to test out if you really wanted to. You don't have to spend all this money. I got a lot of the prize support from the tournaments that I've been winning for this list, so I didn't have to spend all cash. It's fun. Who knows if it's going to get nerfed? From the time you see this video, it hasn't been yet, but nobody's really winning GTs with this list. They have a really good win rate, but most of it is obliterators, which you don't see any obliterators. Forge Fiends, which they already nerfed, and I put 2 in the list. And Abaddon already got a point increase as well. But most of the normal stuff, the 10 Terminators, most of the normal stuff that people run, I don't run. I run fucking a Curse Cultist and just go forward and be like, all right, can you kill 100 bodies that come back every single command phase? So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what you like about these types of battle reports. There's a ton of them on the channel, so if you guys want to go check out a ton of the other battle reports, a lot of them are still current in 10th edition. And we got a bunch of stuff coming up on the channel, especially interviews for GT winners. But if you guys want to support the channel, head over to patreon.com. That's in the description below. Support the channel. You get first access to the videos over on Patreon. And we are selling dice and Kaldis Assassin and Codias as well, if you guys are interested in that. I'm heading to my own wedding next week, so I probably will be gone until November 14th by the time you see this video. But a lot to come to the channel. Thank you for hitting 5,000 subscribers. You guys are awesome. And thank you to my Patreons. I wouldn't be doing this much content if it wasn't for you guys. Leave it in the comment below. And head over to Patreon Discord as well, so that way you can give suggestions on videos you guys want to see coming up. So appreciate it, you guys. Thanks for clicking on the video, and we'll see you in another video soon. What's up, my Patreon? So thank you so much for supporting the channel. If you guys are new here, there's so much content coming up on Patreon. We're going to continue to grow the channel. We got other dirtbags joining the channel to make a huge camaraderie dirtbag nation for you guys up on the Patreon. We have other factions joining the dirtbags as well. It's not just going to be specifically 4 factions that we play all the time. We are really good at those 4 factions, but we have other really good players joining the dirtbags, and we really want to grow the channel as much as possible. And it really is all thanks to the support from you guys donating, getting competitive dirtbags, the grandmasters. All of you guys are just, thank you so much. This video is really just made to give thanks to you guys who are either joining as you're watching this video or have joined over the past couple months. You guys have seen me live at tournaments and GTs, and even have flown out and met me, Cooper, to basically just hang out with us all weekend. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. More is going to grow from the channel in 2024, and I just can't wait to grow the Dirtbag Nation as much as we possibly can. So again, thank you so much, and appreciate you joining the Dirtbag Nation.